Julissa, do you mind sending in your report from your most recent business trip, please?
What? I'm just heading out of the office right now, though.
I understand that, Julissa. But if you don't hand in that report by the end of today, then you're not going to be in compliance.
What a pain in the ass.
All I'm asking you to do is send in that report by email, and nothing else. Nothing about it should be that difficult for someone like you, right?
Sure. I get what you're saying. I'll work on sending the report in now.
What is this?
Like you were asking me for. The report for my business trip.
No, because this isn't even a document, first of all. This is a picture you sent me, right? And from the looks of it, it seems to be a picture from you on your day off. I'm assuming that man next to you is a department manager? I'm sorry, but I did not ask you to send in a picture of you and your father together on your day off.
Hold on. What I sent you is correct. That's a picture of me while I was on the business trip.
What? But this picture, it's a picture of you and the department manager together at some kind of theme park somewhere, having fun with one another, right?
That's right. Is there some kind of problem here?
There is a very big problem now, Julissa. Do you have any idea what you were chosen to go on that business trip for?
Of course I know why. It was a business trip intended to refresh me before I came back home, right?
Nobody ever said you were going on that trip to do such a thing. You went out there to get work done for this company, correct? Does this mean that for the past week you've been gone, you've been playing nonstop and doing nothing you were told to do?
That does seem to be the case.
I cannot believe this, Julissa. Listen here. You have always had a rather bad attitude for someone your age, but I never expected that you'd get even worse the longer you worked here.
Excuse me, but are you trying to preach about my attitude right now? You really are the most annoying coworker ever, aren't you, Jill? Do you have something against me for some reason or another?
I would never have something against you. I have just been left in charge of making sure that you are trained appropriately and that you understand everything you are supposed to be doing here, which is one of the reasons I may seem to be a bit annoying.
I'll send you one other picture as well now.
This one seems to have been taken inside of a really fancy-looking hotel.
That's the hotel I've been staying in for my business trip, Jill.
You're lying. Just based off this picture, something tells me the hotel wasn't cheap at all.
Do you actually understand what kind of a hotel this is? This is a 5-star resort that I stayed at, which costs close to $1,000 every night.
$1,000 a night? You stayed at a place like this during your business trip? Weren't you asked to only stay at an economy hotel while you were away?
The thing is, I'm not going to be staying in some cheap old economy hotel like the company asked me to.
But that's a rule for all the employees of this company, so that there is no overspending while you're away. If you were using your own money to pay for the stay, then you can go wherever you please. But when it comes to a business trip for this company, you have to abide by the expenses. You used the company's money for that, didn't you? In other words, you used the company's money to put yourself in a very expensive hotel for a full week, right? Do you understand how much of a problem that is?
Yes, I do. If anybody else were to do something like I did while on a business trip, they'd be getting yelled at nonstop.
What makes you think you're different from the rest of the employees here?
Well, my dad happens to be a department leader for this company. His name is known by everyone within the company, and he has given a lot for it as well. That means the company's money can be used however we want to use it.
And so just as I thought, your father has been playing a big part in your business trips as well.
Man, being able to stay a full week in a 5-star hotel where I can just go out and play all the time for work is the best. Hey, business trips like this are really fun. I'm going to go next week as well, I think.
You're not allowed to go on them every week. Also, you using the company's money like that is not a good thing for anyone here.
You think I care about how it affects the rest of you? Do you have any idea how much my dad and I have given to this company?
If you're only speaking about your father, I know that he's given quite a bit. But when it comes to you, you're barely out of training and have not done any real work for the company yet.
Shut the hell up! I want to be on another one of those business trips pronto, so you give me one soon. That is your job from me, buddy.
Jill, I've heard about everything. You were able to acquire another major contract for the company, right?
That's correct. But that didn't happen just because of my own work. The contract was acquired based off the presentation that so many of the people here had worked on.
Come on now. You were the leader of that group and managed everyone in a way that led to such an outcome. Had I had someone else in charge, this sort of an outcome would have never came about for the company.
You really think so?
You are a really important asset to this company, Jill. To all of us here. You're a treasure that none of us can afford to ever lose.
No, wait. I can't be one of the most important people in this company. The only reason I've been working so hard to be successful here is as a thank you for allowing me to become an employee of the company.
Hearing you say something like that about your work ethic only makes me happy to have you here.
But really, there was never any other companies willing to hire me based off the fact that I never went to high school. I will never forget the gratitude I have for this company. Ever.
To myself and the rest of the company, your education means nothing to us anymore due to all the things you have done so far for us. I'm sure if you graduated high school and then went on to a university somewhere, you would be one of the most important workers to any company right now. But thankfully, that never happened. And we were able to hire you before anyone else could.
Although, it would have been nice for me to have gone to college somewhere at least.
Well, when it boils down to how you feel about your past, I'm sure you regret some things still. But we all had to start somewhere, right? And no matter where you ended up finishing your education at, you will still be the bright young woman you are right now.
Thank you so much for saying that. I really love the work I'm doing here, and I never plan on leaving the company anytime soon.
With how well you've done so far and all the work you continue to do for the company, it's crazy that you even wanted to start training some of the new hires. I'm a bit worried about your health, actually.
There is no issues with my health right now. Everyone that I've had the pleasure of working with so far has been very understanding, and because of that, I haven't had many issues at all.
Is that right? Is that right?
But there is one person I'd like to talk with you about.
I see. Well, tell me what you like too.
This has to do with Jalissa.
Jalissa? Ah, she's the daughter of the sales department manager, correct? I'd known about her before she even started working for this company. Her father loves to brag about how much of an excellent worker she really is. What kind of things do you have to say about her?
Well, Jalissa recently went on a business trip for the sales department, and it turns out there was a big problem that came up.
Are you serious?
I am. There are some things I'd like for you to have a look at, so I'll send them your way right now.
Jill, when is my next business trip going to be? I am really looking forward to it right now and can't keep myself still.
Listen, Jalissa, I told you before, didn't I? You won't be going on as many business trips as you want to think. When there is a point in time when someone needs to go, I'll let you know.
Hey, I can't just sit around waiting for you to come and tell me something. If you don't start giving me them every week, then I'm not going to have anything to do here.
If you feel like you won't have anything to do, then how about you start working on all those documents you have piling up on your desk? If you start taking time to complete all of those, then I'm sure your next business trip will come in no time.
Stop talking to me like I'm some kind of child still. Are you trying to make fun of me right now or something?
That wasn't my plan at all when saying that. If that offended you at all, I'm sorry. Now, I happen to have a lot of work of my own to get back to now, which means that I can't sit around all day talking with you and trying to find another business trip for you to go on.
Listen, I'm going to make it very clear here the kind of position that you're in. I'm not sure what you are besides a coworker who's been here longer than me. But in this company, I'm in a higher position than you.
What do you mean by that? I'm the one who has been here far longer, with more promotions under my belt.
And I'm the daughter of this department's manager. That means that I sit in a higher position in this company than a base-level employee like you.
Your father being a manager doesn't mean that at all for you. Even if your father has done a lot for this company, that does not mean the same thing for you either.
Then allow me to go and tell my dad that you're picking on me right now and won't listen to a word I'm saying. When that happens, you're going to be fired from this company before you know it.
Wait, you shouldn't do that. If I'm fired from this company, what am I going to do?
Ha! What a sad loser you are. If you don't want to lose your one and only job, then you listen to every word that comes out of my mouth. You get me another business trip to go on right now. I want it to be close to here, and near that amusement park that's just on the other side of this state. That'll do.
But that would mean you're going to go and stay at another 5-star hotel for a week doing nothing at all, right?
Well, of course that's what I'm going to do.
Listen, Jalissa, when it comes to the business trip expenses, those all come out of the company, right? The money also happens to be yours and my paycheck. Using it all like that on yourself for a business trip where you're not achieving anything for the company at all is wrong.
I don't really care. All of that money you guys plan on making this year is all mine to spend. You all start to work harder and harder so that I can live an even more affluent life in luxury. That's it. I'm going to use the company's money to go to a really expensive restaurant as well next time. I have a place that I've been really wanting to go to for some time now.
You really shouldn't go out doing things like that with this company's money.
I don't care if this is wrong or right to you. My dad and I are on a completely different level, which means the company will forgive us.
If you start doing things like spending the company's money on yourself more often, I'm not going to let you get away with anything you've already done.
Hey, when the hell are you going to be giving me another business trip to go on? You pull yourself together right now and get that crap done for me.
About that, Jalissa. I was about to tell you that next week, you'll be going on another business trip for the company.
Well, you're not pulling my finger right now, are you? If you already had that on your mind, you should have told me about that right away. The place had better have a 5-star hotel in the area, or else I'm not going to be staying there for a week. Also, if the place is far enough away where I'll need to fly, give me a first-class seat on the plane. And if you're making me take a train, I'd like to be in first class on that as well.
You really think you're going to be treated like a VIP on a business trip?
I sure do. I mean, I am the company's VIP after all, right?
I see. I'll make sure you're treated as such then.
That would be so helpful. Thank you. Now that I have a business trip coming up to prepare myself for, I'm going to have to leave work early today.
What? Hold on a minute, Jalissa. Your business trip isn't until next week, right?
If I don't start getting prepared for it now, though, I won't be ready for it in time. Can you please make sure to go and tell my dad while I'll be gone? And as for all the things I was supposed to do today, you're going to finish them up yourself, right?
I understand. Good luck on your business trip starting today, okay? I made sure to put the description of the location you'll be going to in an email I just sent you. So please, give it a read through before you go.
Sure. I'll make sure to do that.
And, unlike last time, make sure you get all the work you've been asked to do done for the company, please.
Jesus, you're so annoying. I already told you sure thing.
Then, you have a good trip.
Man, I'm so excited to see what kind of a 5-star hotel or resort I'll be staying in this time.
5-star hotel or resort?
What's wrong? Why are you questioning that like there's a problem?
What are you talking about right now? You're only staying at an economy hotel that's $30 a night for the next week.
Huh? What do you mean by that? I made sure to tell you to get me a place where I'd be able to stay in a 5-star hotel for the next week. We'll also be able to go to an amusement park, Jill. I told you that, right?
Yes, you did. I then went and talked with my boss about that. And you know what they said? They said that wasn't going to be happening for you. But of course, that's the only natural response from someone like them. You're not going on a business trip to have fun and play around with the company's money. Which means you're not going to be getting put up inside of a 5-star hotel for one whole week.
Huh? So you're saying you didn't listen to what I told you to do for me?
I wasn't the one that made the final decision on your trip there. That's up to my boss and the rest of the people around me. But if you go ahead and pay out of your own pocket to stay at a 5-star hotel out there, then there is no problem at all with that. How about you do that if you want to live fancy?
Why would I have to be paying out of my own pocket for a 5-star hotel during this business trip? This is a job that I'm doing for the company, right?
If you're not going to pay for a more expensive hotel while I'm on trip, then suck it up and deal with the one we got for you.
Stop playing around with me, Jill. You think I'm going to forgive you for doing something like this to me, of all people? Have you talked with my dad at all about any of this?
As a matter of fact, your father happened to be really busy at the time, and so I was never able to tell him anything about your business trip. So this trip that you're on right now was put together by the section manager.
You went and avoided my dad on purpose, didn't you? If this trip was planned out by my dad, then I'd be allowed to stay in whatever place I want.
I did not avoid your father when getting you that trip you asked for. He was really busy at the time, and so I had no choice but to go to my own boss with it.
You're a liar! Knowing the kind of gross woman that you are, you probably went and tattled on me to the section manager, all because you hate me.
I didn't tattle on you about anything. Rather, I just spoke to them about the kind of work you wanted to do, as your mentor, per se.
So, you were confessing to having done all of this out of spite?
Where did you pull that kind of idea out of? I never did any of this out of spite, Jalissa.
Nope. I know what you're doing here. You're going around doing all kinds of things to piss me off, in order to get me to leave the company for you and everything.
I am not doing anything like that right now. Right now, you're just imagining things to make yourself out like the victim.
No, I'm not. I'm not imagining anything because, For so long now, every single day I've come into work, you've been over there preaching to me about my job here like you're better than me.
The only reason I've been trying to lecture you some is because your work ethic and attitude here is not acceptable.
Then why has my dad been praising me and bragging about me the whole time I've been here? My dad has told me again and again that I can do anything for this company and can be relied on all the time.
That's only because you're his daughter, of all people.
Stop lying to me about every little thing. I'm going to tell all of the higher-ups about what you're doing to me right now.
Well, if you go trying to talk with your father about this, you're going to have a hard time getting him to listen. He has both of his hands full at the moment.
I happen to be an old friend of the executive director here, so I'll go directly to him about everything you've done. I'll let him know that you've been harassing me the whole time I've been in this company.
He has no reason at all to believe what you're about to say.
Nope. Him and I have known one another for the longest time now, so he's going to believe me no matter what you have to say to him about it, And once he's heard everything from me, he's going to have you fired. Well, you still have time. I get to work packing all your things up and heading out the office doors. Mr. Tom, could you please listen to me for a minute?
If it isn't you, Jalissa, what would you like to tell me about?
Actually, right now I'm in a bit of a pickle.
What happened that got you into such a situation?
Today, I was supposed to go out on a business trip and all. However, the hotel I should have been staying at isn't that.
The hotel isn't the one you were expecting? Do you know why it was changed like that on you?
It was changed out of spite for me. Ever since I came into this company, I've been getting harassed by a coworker of mine.
Wait, who's the one harassing you right now?
Jill. She was always going on about how she's just trying to train me, but I know without a doubt that all her lecturing and preaching is out of spite.
So Jill's been doing that?
She also told me to go on this business trip, but as I was leaving and took a look at my email about the trip's details, I realized the hotel was not the place I had asked for. I am tired of being harassed by her all the time like this. You go and do something about all of this right now, Mr. Tom.
Could you please tell me what hotel you were set up with for your business trip?
What? It's a $30 a night economy hotel.
And what was the hotel you requested to be given to you stay at?
Just your average hotel.
You're wrong about that, Jalissa. You asked for Jill to get you into a hotel that cost close to $1,000 a night for the whole week, right?
What?
And because this time things didn't go the way you had asked them to go, you're going to label her as having harassed you, right? You are far too old now to be acting like a middle schooler, right? What do you think you're trying to do here?
How come you know about that, Mr. Tom?
Because I received a message from Jill about this.
The bitch! Mr. Tom, that is a complete and total lie she told you. I would never ask to be put in a place like that for a week. Please don't be fooled by that bitch's lies.
What do you think you're doing calling Jill a bitch right now? And furthermore, what do you think you're doing calling her a liar?
Mr. Tom, the Jill is nothing more than an uneducated freak, right? She never even graduated from high school, which means that for a person of her low class, she feels completely fine lying about everything in order to make others go through hell. I'm sure she's just jealous of the fact that I was born as the daughter of a manager in as high of a position as my dad.
You cut that crap out right now, Missy. The only reason she never graduated from high school was due to her family situation at the time.
What? Is that so?
It is. And the reason she ever ended up coming up here to work for this company was because she wanted to send her little brother through college. She had been working her butt off for years in order to do such a thing for him. And not only that, but Jill in general is a really important asset to this company. Having completed so many contracts for this company, achieving so much, she's trusted by everyone in this company. And if she's to continue working at the rate she has been, she has a really good chance of being made a manager herself in the next year or two. Hearing that the Jill I know and the rest of this company trust is jealous of you and wants to harass you is something I can't trust for a second.
But I have really been...
Now, could you please tell me what hotel it was you stayed at on your previous business trip?
Wait, about that trip.
During that trip, you stayed at a very expensive hotel for a week, doing nothing at all for the company before coming back home, right?
Mr. Tom?
You're going to cry out that that's a lie as well now? I happen to have photos of you out about having a good time during that trip, as well as the receipts for the hotel and everything you stayed at.
But about all of that...
Shut it! There are no more excuses for what you've been up to. I'm going to take care of this problem right now for the company. You seem to think that all of this harassment coming from her, but Jill is not the kind of woman who would put her own career on the line over someone like you. She happens to really love this company, and will do anything to make sure she does a good job and helps the company out. Even if you are the daughter of one of the managers here, she does not care that you have been making her out as some kind of monster, who you now want me to have fired. I'm not letting you get away with that kind of behavior anymore.
Damn it! Now I'm in trouble with the executive director as well.
Don't you say that like it's all my fault. You were the one asking for him to become upset with you. Also, you went and used a business trip to go and spend the company's money on an expensive hotel and a trip to the amusement park. So of course, him and a lot of other higher-ups are going to be angry, right?
I'm not going to listen to any of your preaching anymore.
I see. Well, to be honest, I don't care about listening to me anymore. For now, just make sure to get your work done this time while on that business trip. And, just so I don't forget, I'm sending you all your paperwork and everything now for the job.
Huh? What the hell is all of this crap? I have to get all of this crap done while I'm out here before coming back?
That's right.
Stop screwing around right now, you bitch. This right here has to be you harassing me.
It's not harassment, Jalissa. That's just the amount of work someone in your position has to do.
How the hell is that so?
Because the last time you were away on a business trip for the company, you didn't do jack squat, right? So that amount of paperwork is in your workload as well this time.
Huh? Last time's work.
That's right. We here have to make sure that you not only get your work done for this trip, but also all the work you never attended to last trip as well.
Wait a second. That place is different from this place though, right?
Yes, it is. And that is why, once you're finished up with your work here this week, you're then going to be going to the town you were at last time to do the job you were supposed to have done before.
You're kidding me, right?
I'm not, though. But don't you worry, because we made sure to get you a hotel out there for the week as well. It's another one of those cheap places we've set you up with. Only this time, it's an old motel worth $15 a night. Isn't that great?
I already told you that I'm not going to stay in either of these super cheap hotels or motels or whatever you want to call them.
Well, you don't have to worry about sleeping in then, because you will have a lot of work to be getting done in the weeks ahead. That might be more than 8 hours a day can handle.
That means the company is bad as a whole then. I'm not going to accept any of this.
There's no other choice for you, though. You're going to have to make up for all the work you didn't do the last time you were sent on a business trip.
Are you really saying all of this to me?
What else would I be saying right now? I get that all of this is pretty harsh for you, but you were the one that did everything that resulted in this outcome, right? You were also the one who asked over and over again to go on another business trip. And you were the one that didn't do their work last time. So what makes you think you can continue to cry and whine about being a victim right now?
Shut the hell up! Shut the hell up! I'm going to tell my dad about all of this crap.
And what do you think that's going to accomplish for you?
Once I've gone and told my dad about what you're doing to me, he'll be able to have you fired for me.
I'm really sorry to have to break this to you, but that's never going to happen.
It sure is going to happen. No matter how busy you may say that he is, when he gets a text or call from me, he's going to answer.
That's not what I'm talking about. Your father's already been fired.
What the hell? What kind of bullcrap lie is that?
I'm not lying about that. What I just said about your father is the truth.
Then tell me why my dad was fired from the company. He was a department manager of all people.
That last business trip you took, your father joined you on, and you both went and used the company's money to stay at that 5-star resort, right?
That's right.
And him being a manager means that he misappropriated the money. In other words, that's against this company's rules. And in some states, that's even a crime.
What?
And well, when the company started to investigate your father even more after it was found he'd done that with you, more things came out of the dark. Seems like your father committed a lot of fraud as well. And so, the company is now going to be taking your father to court over everything.
Does that mean my dad is going to be placed under arrest?
No, I don't think that the police will be coming after him just yet.
No way!
Also, we have some things that you're going to have to answer for, like the cost of having stayed at that 5-star resort for 1 week, as well as the cost of spending time at that theme park with your father.
Wait, just a freaking second! Do you have any idea how much all of that is going to cost in total?
You're the one who knows the answer to that one most of all, right?
I'm not going to be able to pay all of that off right away. Especially now when my dad of all people who is making way more than me is going to have to go to court.
I believe you'll be paying the company back for all of that by having it taken directly out of your salary.
If that ends up happening to me, what will happen in my life outside of work?
Don't worry, because the company will be offering you a lot of overtime work that you can stay late doing to make that money back more quickly. Think all of that work you slacked off from and never finished when you were supposed to do it before. I know that before you had your father in the office to let you off the hook for just sitting around on your phone all the time. But starting the moment you're back from both of your trips, that's not happening. For about a year, you're going to be putting in close to 80 hours a week for this company.
Hey, wait! Could you lay off for just a second? I can't cope with all that you're telling me right now, Jill.
Stop crying like a little child. This is all the fruits of your unacceptable labor. So, as an adult woman, suck it up and figure it out.
There's no way I can do all of this work on my own. I need to start asking others to help me out with this.
There is not a single person in this company who will be assisting you with that workload. Do it all yourself, please.
I made sure to tell the court about what had happened and prepare a hearing for the company.
Is that so? Well, you are going to have to get around to it eventually. Tom, I am so sorry about what's happened. I was supposed to take care of Jalissa the whole time, however.
Don't apologize. The department manager was helping protect her as well the whole time, so there was nothing you could have done to stop her.
I'm sure that's probably true.
If anything, thanks to you being so observant with Jalissa, you were able to get to the bottom of something like that before her and her father took further advantage of the company. Thank you so much, Jill.
I see. Thank you so much. If it has to do with the benefit of my job and this company, I will do anything to make sure it is done.
Thank you for saying that. I really can rely on you for anything. And thankfully, a brand new management position opened up. So, would you mind moving up into it into the near future?
Jalissa was left to enjoy the next 2 weeks working away from home, barely getting any sleep at all on her business trip. At first, she was making her best effort to get all her work done to start making up for all the work she skipped. But over time, she began to go back to her ways of slacking off. And soon after that started to happen again, she was removed from the company and her job was terminated. As for her father, he was asked to come into court to face the company, but ultimately never did, leading to him getting arrested and brought in by the police. His wife, Jalissa's mother, began to lose whatever faith she had left in him then, and moved away back to her parents' house. And that left Jalissa at the house all by herself, while her father was still having to go through the court system. He ended up having to pay the company close to $200,000, based off the amount of embezzling he did, and would also have to be placed on parole for a while because of his fraudulent activities as well. When her father did finally end up paying for all he done, he came home and kicked her out of the house, saying he didn't want to see her anymore, where she then went and stayed at a friend's house for a bit. But that only lasted a few weeks, before she got kicked out of there too for complaining all the time about her friend's place not being big enough for her, and was forced to start renting an extremely cheap apartment. She attempted to go out and find another job, but due to her having never worked before in her life, it was a very hard battle for her to come out victorious from. She wasn't even able to use the last company she was at for references, as she was only able to get the job there because of her father, and all of us no longer support her after she was fired. There was never going to be a way for a woman like her to find a job like the one she'd been given and lost before. So, in a last-ditch effort, she went and got a part-time job at a gas station. To this day, she is still in that rundown apartment, trying to live life with whatever money she has left after paying the company and back for all she'd spent. In other words, she's not doing anything else besides working and sleeping. And when it comes to myself, I'm doing the same old, working for the company I love, giving my all. And not too long ago, I was given the position as the sales department manager, after Jalissa's father had been fired along with her, and I've been doing one hell of a good job. Considering that most people like me never get to a position this good, I'm going to make sure that I work even harder to show my appreciation towards Tom and the company as a whole. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.